Magical Mystery School, and thank you so much for coming back. And something I always forget to say, please like and subscribe. That will help me very much. So this is Symbols of the Tarot, class number 5. And I'm so sorry, I just spaced the number 3. Duh. You'll get used to me. I do duh things all the time. Anyway, so we looked at decks, and we separated out the major arcana from the minor arcana. And today we're going to start just looking at each one of the major arcana cards in more detail. So I think we'll probably do about 3. So hang on, and I'm going to put you on pause, and here we go. Okay, well, this is the best I can do for right now and keep it in good focus. So here's the Fool, the 0 card. And remember, zeros are also nothing, no thing. So here we've got the Spirit basically coming down out of the ethers here, and walking along, being all spontaneous and happy, and arms open and getting ready to fall off this cliff. So this is kind of like the Spirit as it's coming into the physical body. At least that's the way I've always thought about it. And when we come into this physical earth plane, we're not aware of any problems or anything like that. We think everything's going to work out just fine. So people also think of this 0 as being like the breath of life and prana. Also in the BOTA deck, I'll just slide that one over there a little bit. You can see it has the Hebrew letter and Aleph, and it's actually, that's kind of how it's spelled, but it's actually just a breath sound, like a, I'm not saying that very well, but doing my best here. And so that's another kind of repetition of this breath and 0, basically. This also stands for oxen or bull. And then, like I said, with our planets, this is the Fool also represents represents Uranus. So here we've got our fellow, and he's walking along, and he's the yellow also represents. I want to keep this in focus. I think if I keep my hands out of there, it'll stay focused better. Come back. Come on. Okay, I'm going to put you on pause. All right, got it back here. And so the yellow also represents the limitless light, the same with his yellow hair. He's got the spirit, the radiant energy coming through him in his mind. He does have a green wreath around his head, and that represents the vegetable world. And the red feather represents the animal kingdom, evolving up out of the vegetable kingdom, basically. Oh, and we have the sun back here. And just remember, with most tarot cards, they're looking east. So this would be the sun rising for our information, basically. And then he's got this wand or rod over his shoulder. And the rod is also a measuring instrument from way back when, and he's got this purse or wallet, and this is where he keeps all of his memories from past lives and that type of thing. So and there's also a key, and it's really hard to see, but there's a lock here that's an eye for the all-seeing eye, and he does have this white undergarment to represent not being of purity and that type of thing, with a very dark black coat with a lot of green in it, sort of covering up. And that insides of his coats are should be like really bright red. And he's got the white flower here, and the white again is purity, in his hand. And also, this oftentimes represents Uranus again. Now, oh, and I should also say the fool isn't really considered a boy or a girl. He's kind of whatever you see is what he or she is. He's also got a belt on here that has 12 beads or circles on it, each one representing an astrological sign. So that's time, because there's no time in the other world. He's got to strap his coat on over his purity and jump down into the world of time and space. And here he's got all these um, wheels on his coat representing the 10 seraphis of the tree of life, and a sun and a moon symbol. Again, yellow shoes for that spiritual energy, and the little white dog here who's like biting at his or barking at his heels there. And oftentimes dogs are a result of human interaction with the animal plane. People sort of basically created dogs. So here, this is sort of considered intellectual distraction as he jumps off this cliff. And let's see, what else can I tell you about this one? I think that's about it. So I'm going to put you on pause for a second. So just in general, remember that the Fool is representing just this optimism, naivety, just ready to jump in and experience things and enjoy life. And just to show you, here's another Fool from that medieval deck. And I thought this was funny, our Renaissance deck, how the dog is actually biting his pants off there. But you can see it's very similar. And here's another Fool from the Gilded Tarot. And you can see there's the astrology signs, but he's already leaped off. He's out in midair here. He's not hanging on to anything. And then here's another modern deck showing the Fool. So you can see how they've changed over time, but yet there's still a lot of similarities. All right, here we go with the Magician, and I do apologize. I'm still working out all this technology and lights and cameras and focuses and cards and all that kind of good stuff. But here's the Rider-Waite Magician, and here's the BOTA Magician. And so here the Fool now has come down into the earth, and sometimes he's related to Adam. God told Adam to name all the plants and animals on earth, and that's what the magician is doing. He's concentrating on all this nature around him, as above, so below. So he's directing that energy. Now, in the BOTA, we actually have 5 red roses over the arbor here for that the magician's standing under, representing the 5 senses, and the same down here. And he's got the infinity sign, or figure 8 horizontal over his head, and the horizontal basically means the dominion over the earth plane, basically. And then he's got the white undergarment on, like he did as the Fool. Again with purity, but now he's got this red robe for passion and activity and stuff on. But notice it's very loose, so he can take this on and off consciously. So really the magician is starting to develop his own self-consciousness. Now he has black hair, which is representing ignorance. He's on this earth plane and starting to figure it out with the white headband. He's got a little bit of knowledge there, but it's coming to him. He's got his work table here with the 4 elements that we see in the minor arcana: cups for water, rods for fire, sometimes called wands, swords for air. What did I say? Did I say rods for fire, and pinnacles or coins for earth? sitting on his work table here for him to concentrate on. And then he's also got the serpent belt, and the serpent is actually swallowing its own tail there, so that's also representing eternity in this card. So, and magician also, Beit is the Hebrew letter, and it means house. So that's why he's standing under the arbor. And of course, it's number 1 from the Roman numeral. Okay. And I forgot to show you these guys. Here's the the Renaissance magician, and you can see he's got his card on the table. He's got all of his elements, and he's got the wand. And then here's some of these more modern decks. I think it's just fun to see. This guy actually looks pretty scary to me. Now, he does have his 4 elements, and I should also say the magician is also concentration, and that's how we manifest. The better you can concentrate, the better you're going to manifest. And here's one from that Spellcaster's Tarot, a very modern one, and you can see a lot of the same elements again. The belt and the elements sitting on his work table. Okay. Okay, so here's the High Priestess, card number 2. And as you can see, she's the virgin goddess, and she's just waiting for the magician to show up and consummate their relationship. So she's sort of Eve before she met Adam, basically. We also think of her as the unconscious or subconscious, so she's really creative potential. She's waiting to be stimulated. She's waiting to meet that magician in life. Now, the word for her, or the Hebrew letter for her, is Gimel, which means camel. So that's the ship of the sea, of the desert. And that's refers to the movement. The moon is the ruler of this card, of the phases of the moon. So we can see the full moon and the waxing and waning moon. And you can see this is a very watery card also, with a lot of water images in here. So again, this is very emotional, sort of that substance, again, waiting to be stimulated. And she's amenable. She's not uncritical. She doesn't care what she manifests in that unconscious, subconscious world. She just wants to manifest for her magician, basically. Now, some other symbols that we see, as you can see, she's sitting on a cube, and a cube is one of the kind of perfect geometries, geometric shapes. There's a lot of references in all these cards to building, that kind of thing, like the measuring rod for the Fool. So you'll see that, because building things, I mean, think about it, way back when, we kind of don't even worry about it anymore, but constructing something, especially like a cathedral or something like that, was quite a process, quite a big deal. Oh, and the B and the J, and this refers to Beit and Yod. So this is the letter for the magician, and this will be the letter for the hermit when we get to that point too. Now she's sitting in front of a veil here, and as you can see, there's pomegranates, which represent the feminine energy, because it's kind of rounded, right? And some people say that it was a pomegranate, not an apple, in the Garden of Eden. And these are palm trees. They're more vertical, so they represent the masculine. And I hope you know by now that whenever I talk about this masculine and feminine energy, I'm not talking about men and women particularly, because all men and women carry both energies. She's definitely the stream of consciousness, okay, with the water flowing from her knees out to the stream. And the stream of consciousness, that's really what you want to get on to manifest also. She has a scroll in her hands, the Torah, which is basically representing the laws of our physical world we're living in, as well as memory, because that's where stories were put for people to remember. Oh, and also the other thing too about the skin color of these figures, that's what's kind of nice. If you did color your own BOTA, you could make these people pretty much any color you want, skin tone. I was just kind of doing, when I colored mine in, just kind of what's matched, matched those. The Rider Waite's. And she also has a cross over her chest here, and this is representing the equal of the masculine and the feminine. Again, the masculine's vertical and the feminine's horizontal, and that would also be an equality between, you got to be active and you got to be positive, passive sometimes. So now let's just look at some of the other, this is again from that Renaissance deck, and you can see she's holding a book instead of a scroll, but she's still sitting in front of the veil, and in basically in blue. And this is from the Gilded Tarot. That's a pretty hot high priestess compared to the traditional decks, but what a beautiful card, you know. And she is the moon, and again, very, very watery with the pillars there. And then this is from that Spellcaster's deck. And you can see this, she's subconscious, she's unconscious. It's very difficult to be aware of what the High Priestess is doing. But she is looking through her book. I'm not too sure about the baby here. But she does have the same crown on and the moon in the background. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this or not, but so I will now. These pomegranates and palms she's sitting in front of, it's actually, if we could see behind her, it would be the tree of life, okay? And you can probably see, you know, crown above. And then if you can see, she's the path between the crown and beauty is... or Kether and Tipperith is the High Priestess. So she's sitting right on her pathway, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So that would be the tree of life. Okay, so I think that will finish us up for today. And again, I apologize as I'm getting used to doing this, but I'll be smoother next time. So I'll just say bye for now, and just remember, funny things are everywhere. From there to here, from here to there, funny things are everywhere. Bye.